Boys, check this out. We just got some new parts in. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for these. This is like my most favorite part about this build right here. These are the, well, you'll just see. This is the whole theme. This is what we're going for. These right here, boys, are the Shreddy and PRP collab steering wheel and the harnesses. These are gonna be super sick. This is like our whole theme that we're going for. You ready? All right, we're gonna do the reveal real quick. Look at these, boys. This is like, I don't really know much about these, but I can tell these are super high quality. We've got this super thick padding here. That's gonna be nice while we're bouncing up and down on the dunes. And then we got the same one here. We just got two of them matching. And the other ones I was looking at buying, they were the same exact thing, but they had pink right here. And I think there was like one other small part that was pink. I was upset at first, but these actually are pretty sick. And this, boys, is the steering wheel. You ready? Look at this. This has got this suede all around. This beautiful like splatter. That's kind of the whole theme we're going for here. And then this cap here is going to be in the center, just like that. And then it's going to have the purple stuff to go along with it. So plans for today, guys, we're about to mock up the trans, do some measurements for the suspension. We're mocking up some of this stuff right here. In the last video, we were doing some more transmission work. We're still waiting on some gaskets and a few other things to make our transmission build complete. However, that's kind of where we're sitting right now. And then after that, hopefully today, I want to get a lot more parts ordered for this thing. I like had no idea how much behind the scenes stuff was going on for this build. Like, I had no idea how to plan all this out. Massive shout out to Zach here. I don't know how to do this stuff. So Zach's really helping out. The main stuff we're moving on to next when it comes to like shopping and planning out, it's like super dark in here. Shopping and planning out is all going to be motor work. Our main thing that's going to be expense here is the wiring harness that we have to run through an independent ECU. We have the old one from the Ford Edge, but that's not going to work because like that's planned and programmed to be with the Ford Edge, and because this is going to have like none of the sensors or anything, it's probably not even going to fire up with that ECU. We're a couple weeks out on this custom transfer plate, so that's going to go right here with our 4th stage clutch. And then we did get a new flywheel. I pulled one off the old Volkswagen motor, but we didn't end up needing that. We got a new one anyways. It just kind of came with the kit. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. But yeah, a lot of work. It's a scorcher out today, but we're going to get started. So while we were filming this, we got some more car parts in, so we're gonna open this up. This should be our radiator and fans. We got like a radiator and fan kit. Whoa, look at this thing, boys. This thing is huge. We got 2 fans here, so those are looking good too. If I remember correctly, this is for actually trucks. So we got a little bit larger one than we were supposed to, but it's fine. We'll just stay extra cool. And take a look at this thing. This thing's actually pretty nice. I bought it off eBay, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. But there's the cap there. Looks pretty sick. We got to get a subscribe to Cayleb Pleto's going on right there. But this thing's pretty cool. It's a scorcher out here. I'm sweating my socks off, but I want to show you guys what we're doing here. So we got this kind of mocked up right here. We're about to measure for our suspension. These plates right here are actually like spring loaded. So we don't need shocks with springs, we just need the actual shocks themselves. So they're gonna go like right here somewhere. We just have to measure how much we need. I'm gonna mock this up real quick and kind of show you guys where we have this plan to go. This is gonna go under here, kind of pointed back, and then we can either have these fans push or pull. We're gonna have the fans pull down. Keep in mind we are gonna extend this frame a little bit, so we're gonna have a little bit more room.
And it's gonna be taller, so they're gonna be
yeah,
less.
it's gonna be a little taller. We're thinking like 10-12 inches taller, then 10-12 longer. But yeah, this thing's pretty big, but we're not gonna have any issues. And then up top right here, this is where the intercooler is. I just got a notification that it shipped. but I heard they were a little backed up, so it might be a week or two out on that. So this is probably a more better representation of how it's going to be. Kind of the reason why we're tilting it backward in this weird area is the problem we might have is that if we mess up and we blow this cap off, or it spews out or something, I don't trust my mechanical knowledge very well. So if we mess up, we don't want something to spew out all over, some hot fluid all over the driver and passenger. We want this to go that way. So we're planning to mess up. We're planning our failures. We're planning to mess up, so it's not too bad if we do. This is so sick. So off camera right now, we are about to take some of those measurements and do all of our shopping for what we can do right now for parts. It takes a long time to do all these part shopping, especially when you factor in all the time that it takes for me, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But after that, we're gonna run this thing through a speed calculator based on our estimated weight, based on power, based on drag, all this kind of stuff. We can figure out how fast this thing's gonna go, and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure it's gonna be faster than my Z06. So we're gonna find that out. So we just mocked this thing up, guys, and take a look at how mean this thing looks. Like, just get a little like all-around presence here. This thing is coming together, and like we really only have a few things in and on it right now. Take a look at it next to the vet, and it's pretty sweet. We got Caden over here sanding off a bunch of the little mini parts and stuff. We want to get all that little tiny stuff out of the way so that we can dive right into the big stuff once all those parts get here. There's a lot of little tiny finicky stuff that we got to mess with, so I want to get all that stuff out of the way beforehand to make the rest of the time as smooth as possible. But we are thinking about painting the transmission black. We're thinking about doing black and then like that, and then recreating that splatter that we had on the steering wheel that you guys saw earlier. So I think that's gonna be our plan for the transmission. And then the motor, we're just gonna keep that white where the previous owner had that white. We're about to head to O'Reilly's. We gotta order a few parts, then we're gonna go online and order some more. But we're done with working on this thing today, but now we gotta do some parts shopping. So when I come back, I'll have a lot of parts to show you guys. All right, guys, so surprise, surprise, we got distracted. We were out buying parts. But take a look at this. We're at like a little pop-up car show here. We found a sand rail. Look at this thing. This is a V8. They kind of got a similar setup here with the radiator. Look at the massive gas tank. I'm not sure how big ours is going to be. I'm guessing that's like 10 gallons. What do you think, Zach? 10 gallons?
No, that's like 20.
Really? Okay, yeah, ours is going to be 5, so we're going to have a lot smaller one. And now I'm starting to think, yeah. Should I have bought a bigger one?
Well, I guess, yeah.
I'm pretty sure yeah. We might have messed up, boys.
You should order 2 of them so you can have one on each side.
Yeah, this is super cool, though. We're kind of just here getting ideas. This is really cool, though. They've even got the touch screen right there.
I like those switches.
This is super nice. They've got the wheelie bar in the back. So this hood scoop right there is actually functional, and it just kind of pushes down under there and shoots it straight into the radiator. That's probably how they were able to get away with such a small one, because they're forcing so much air through it. We're using this for a lot of inspiration. We took a lot of videos and stuff so we can kind of base some of our ideas off of this. But yeah, looking back, I'm an idiot. I ordered a 5-gallon tank. So this is exactly why I don't buy parts without you, Zach. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Got the yellow Gallardo over here. And then we got this cool truck as well. Guys, they've got like all these Corvette dudes out here, and then I pulled up with pit vipers on, Bass Pro Shop hat, my mega dirty car. I do not fit in here. So here's everything that we bought in this video, kind of behind the scenes. The first thing we bought was a new nose cone because it had that bearing and everything in there with it. And we're just gonna sell the old one. The second thing we bought some stuff from Summit Racing, just tiny little bolts and little things, nothing that's important. Some adapters for the wiring so we can seal up all of our wiring. We bought a different engine wiring harness from a 2.0 because we need those for all of the plugs and adapters. Is the same thing, but just an engine wiring harness for the Ford 2.0. We bought a new fuse box because we need everything to run things too. We bought that from Jegs, so that actually is here already. It's been a couple days since I filmed part of this video. And then the last thing here, this is the big one. We have all this this whole ECU kit here. So that comes with the ECU. Some of the harnesses. Well, this top one, this Mega Squirt one, that's the kit itself. and then everything else we bought, but we were talking with them. This is kind of everything that we know that we need. So we have another wiring harness here, sensors, oil sensor, USB stuff, boost control, and I think, yeah, this was kind of expensive. This was like $1,000, so spending $1,000 on wiring kind of sucked, but that should be good for the most of the wiring. So yeah, not like a lot of fun stuff that we bought. You know, it's kind of sucks spending so much money on like wiring and like an ECU, because it's not the fun stuff that you want to buy, but you know, it's still part of the build and we needed it. So the sand rail is going to be putting down some pretty mean times. I covered it up because it's raining here in Michigan. We always have some crazy weather, but anyways, the sand rail is going to put down some pretty mean times. So that leaves the sand rail with a pretty good competitor to the Z06. Now the Z06 puts down the best time I have personally gotten in this car is an 11.9 quarter mile. This thing usually traps out at about 120 miles an hour. Basically what that means is that at like 120, that's what it crosses the finish line at. That's like the dead end of third gear. I've taken this to the track 3, maybe 4 times, and that is the best I can do in this so far, 11.9. Because the sand rail is not done yet, and I don't know how much it's gonna weigh, or I don't know all the specifics yet, because it's not finished, we might have some problems, we might have to change things a little bit, but it looks like it's gonna be fast. So I ran 2 situations here. The first situation is based off of a vehicle weight of 1,800 pounds. I think that that's just kind of being safe. That's wheel horsepower right there of 220. So 1,800 pounds and 220 horsepower. The quarter mile on this is going to be 11.7, trapping at 122 miles an hour. So that right there off the bat, that's our worst case scenario, I think. That's going to be still faster than the vet behind me. That's going to be 0.2 seconds faster than my personal best. Now, if we can get this thing a little bit lighter, around 1,500 pounds with 220 horsepower at the wheel, this thing's going to go at about an 11-second flat quarter mile. We're getting pretty close to 10s, and that's pretty dang fast. This thing will trap at 129 miles an hour, so almost 130 crossing the finish line, whereas the Corvette's about 120. Also, if this build goes good, if this single turbo build goes good, we might throw another turbo on there. But that's like super down the line, super later. But this thing is going to be pretty dang fast, guys. I think the biggest advantage this thing is going to have is its weight. We're probably going to end up having to put a wheelie bar because the majority of the weight is going to be in the back. This thing weighs about 3,100 pounds. So the Corvette is about double the weight, but it also has double the horsepower. So it's pretty sticky. It's going to be pretty quick. The sand rail is half as much horsepower, but it also is half as much weight. So it's gonna be pretty close, boys. But I think if we build this thing right, we can get the sand rail to be faster. Now, these are just some of the numbers that I got off of a calculator that I did online. There's obviously a lot more stuff that goes into it besides the weight and besides the horsepower. There's, you know, drag, your tire, everything else, the driver. So how fast this thing is might change. By the time we're done, we might have to do different things. We might have to add weight to solve certain problems. We really don't know because I've never done this before. But I do know one thing, that once this build is done, we gotta race it against the vet. I really, really need your guys' help to help blow up this build. Smash like, smash subscribe, share this with a friend, post about it on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, because we're taking the sand rail places, boys. As always, I hope you all have a great and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.